Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL prediction segment, I'm going to be giving you my picks and analysis for Week 1 of the 2017 NFL season. Let me get started. The first game I'm going to talk about, Tennessee is going to be at home against the Oakland Raiders. I like Tennessee to win this one. They upgraded their roster this season. Tennessee had a very good season last year, going 9-7. They added wide receiver Eric Decker to already improve a very good passing offense. They also added cornerback Logan Ryan to help an anemic secondary, which ranked number 30 in passing yards allowed per game. Yes, Oakland has defeated the Titans in recent seasons. They've beaten the Titans the last 2 times they played, but it was just by a combined 10 points. Those games could have gone either way. I think Tennessee could win this one in a close one. I'm also not sure, really, if Oakland's running back, Marshawn Lynch, if he's going to be the real deal this season. Will he be back to his form that he was maybe a couple seasons ago or what have you? Oakland also was number 32 in the NFL in defensive sacks. If they can't get to quarterback Marcus Mariota, it could be a long day for Oakland. I like Tennessee to win this one. Now, next game. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills to prevail over the New York Jets in this one. Yes, Buffalo was swept by the New York Jets last season, but I'm thinking that's kind of a little bit of an aberration. Buffalo was number 1 in rushing offense last season. They bring back running back LaShawn McCoy. He should lead the way. And the Jets, really, they seem to be in perpetual rebuilding mode and reclamation mode. It seems like a lot of projections for their power rankings or what have you this season. They got the Jets, a lot of people have them between number 30 and 32. The New York Jets discarded a number of their good players from 2016. It seems like they're really just trying to create that salary room to get the players in the 2018 draft. That being said, the Jets have some incentive because so many people are picking them to finish at the bottom of the barrel or near the bottom of the barrel this season. I expect the Jets to go in and play hard, but I don't know whether it's going to be, Josh McCown or Bryce Petty, but I don't think it's a quarterback, but I don't think it's going to be enough to beat Buffalo. I think the Bills get him in this one. Now, the next game. I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys to beat the New York Giants. Dallas will be at home. A lot of this, of course, is predicated on whether running back Ezekiel Elliott plays or not. I do believe he's going to play. We're going to find out about Dallas. Was last season an aberration. Now, the Giants last season, they held the Cowboys to 26 combined points last season, only giving up about 13 points per game in the 2 meetings last season. Odell Beckham, his status is uncertain right now. And the New York Giants also were number 29 last season in rushing offense, and Dallas was number 1 in rushing defense. Quarterback Eli Manning looks to bounce back from a subpar season, and Giants, will make this game competitive, I think, but I do like Dallas to win this one. Now, the next game. I'm going to take the New England Patriots at home to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Many people think the Patriots are going to go all the way again. I feel they will as well. I think it's probably going to be them and Green Bay in the Super Bowl. New England, no Edelman, well, no problem. The Patriots have the uncanny ability to improvise. They have virtually no weaknesses. Number 3 in run defense last season. They should be great on both sides of the ball in this game. Kansas City, number 1 in 2016 in the turnover differential at plus 16. 18 defensive interceptions. Marcus Peter, the defensive back, will be back for this season. I expect them to make it competitive with the Patriots, but Patriots at home. Patriots only lost 1 game last season with Tom Brady at quarterback. I don't think they're going to lose this one. I like the Patriots to win. Now, the next game. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens on the road to defeat the Cincinnati Bengals. The Baltimore Ravens need to capitalize on possible departures, at least for this game, of cornerback Adam Jones and linebacker Burfict. Baltimore, if they could just contain the Bengals offense with A.J. Green, Andy Dalton, I think they'll be okay. The Bengals strike me as they might be a little bit on the decline. I don't know if this team is even going to make the playoffs this season. It'll be interesting to see if they can bounce back and get in the postseason. It'll probably, if they don't do it this season, I would imagine that the coach will probably be out after the completion of this regular season. I do like Baltimore in this one. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons on the road to beat the Chicago Bears. Chicago last season was tied for worst in turnover differential at -20. This is going to be their first game in the post-Cutler era. Atlanta, to me, they just have too much on offense with quarterback Matt Ryan and wide receiver Julio Jones. I see them as having a very the Chicago Bears defense having a very difficult time against them. However, Chicago has some hope, not just the fact they're at home, but they were number 7 last season in passing yards allowed per game. If the secondary can be competitive, they have a chance. But I think their offense receiving core will just overpower the secondary of the Chicago Bears. I like Atlanta to win this one. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to win on the road over the Cleveland Browns. Pittsburgh has dominated this series in recent time. They've won 8 of the last 9 against the Browns. They've also defeated the Browns 4 consecutive times. Wide receiver Martavis Bryant, he was reinstated in this game officially reinstated for this season. So I think that is definitely a plus for Pittsburgh. Cleveland, as I stated before, they lost 4 consecutive to Pittsburgh. Cleveland has abysmal home record over the last 2 seasons at 3-13. They also allowed a league-high 66 sacks last season. I see Pittsburgh getting to the quarterback of the Browns frequently and often, and I also see them emerging victorious in this game. I like the Steelers. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Detroit Lions to win at home over the Arizona Cardinals. Quarterback Matt Stafford, I believe his finger is going to be much better right now. They're going to look more like the team that started 9-4 last season as opposed to losing the last 3 games in the regular season. Detroit, very good home team last season. Arizona, you look at them. Now, they might be another team on the decline. They were number 1 though, in defensive sacks at 48 last season. Wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald could be one of their few hopes against Detroit in this game. I do see, looking at Arizona, they have another thing in their favor. They have won 7 consecutive games versus the Detroit Lions. But I think this is a different time right now. Detroit is going to be at home. Matt Stafford got some lucrative contract this season. I think it's kind of a little bit about redemption for him, and he wants to show that he's worth every penny of that contract. I like Detroit to win at home. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Houston Texans to win at home over Jacksonville. J.J. Watt is back for Houston. Houston was number 1 in total defense last season, and that was without J.J. Watt. They should have a very formidable defense this season with him. They're 17-7 at home over the last 3 seasons. Jacksonville, however, has lost 6 consecutive against the Houston Texans. Wide receiver Allen Robinson can be one of their few hopes in this one. They're 3-21 on the road in the last 24 road games. In other words, the last 3 seasons on the road. Also, Jacksonville was dead last in defensive interceptions last season at 7. Now, they got some help this season and during the offseason to augment their secondary. It might be a little improved, but I don't know how much it's going to be. I don't think it's going to make that much difference in this game. I like Houston to win this one at home. Next game, I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins to win at home over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this will be a quarterback Jay Cutler. Presumably is going to start this game. As many of you may know, he's erratic and sporadic. I say basically like a mediocre quarterback, but he should be good enough to get this job done. Miami has won 3 of the last 4 at home versus the Bucs. Miami was also number 9 in rushing offense last season. Tampa Bay was just number 22 in run defense. I love the progression of quarterback Jameis Winston for Tampa Bay, but I just don't think that they're going to have enough horses to get this done in this particular game. Miami is going to be at home. Tampa Bay could very well be a playoff team this season. They may be a 10-win team, but I don't think this is going to be one of their wins. I'm going to take Miami to win this one at home. Now, the next game, I like Washington at home to defeat the Philadelphia Eagles. They swept the Eagles last season. They were just by a combined 12 points. They've also defeated the Eagles 5 consecutive games. Quarterback Kirk Cousins wants to show his worth and what he's about, that he's worth staying with the Redskins and being retained by them as their quarterback. Now, Washington, and I mean, as I stated before, they defeated the Eagles 2 times last season, beat them 5 times in a row. Philadelphia, I mean, their incentive and motivation, for one thing, is to try to stop that streak. Now, Philadelphia, though, was just 1-7 on the road last season. They were number 1 in the NFL in time of possession. I think what I look for Philadelphia to do is to try to play keep away from the Skins in this one, but that's really not going to be enough. Linebacker Ryan Kerrigan of Washington has given Philadelphia fits in recent time. I think he may do so in this one, and I like Washington to win this one. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the LA Rams at home to defeat the Indianapolis Colts. I understand the Rams, one of the worst teams in the NFL. However, they have a new defensive coordinator, Wade Phillips. He's going to devise some schemes, and Indianapolis is not going to be very unsure of. Running back Todd Gurley, I think he'll have a bounce-back season this year. Last season, Rams were number 32 in scoring offense. I mean, the percentages say that's going to improve a little bit. Now, really, the main reason I like the Rams in this one is because Indianapolis, their quarterback Andrew Luck, is likely going to be out, and cornerback Vontae Davis may be out as well. Quarterback Scott Tolzien has just 128 career passing attempts as a pro quarterback, not an overabundance of experience. I think it's going to be difficult for the Colts, to go into the Rams and win into LA and win this one. I like the Rams to win this game. Now, the next game, I like the Green Bay Packers at home to defeat Seattle. Now, Green Bay has had Seattle's number at home. They've won 7 consecutive versus Seattle at Green Bay. I think Green Bay, if they have their defensive nucleus, if they stay healthy for the whole season, I think they could go very far and very possibly to the Super Bowl. Seattle is a perennial contender, but they seem like they're a little bit on the decline. Cornerback Richard Sherman is going to have to really show his mettle in this game and try to help contain the great vaunted passing offense of the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay has averaged about 25 points per game. The past 4 times that Green Bay has defeated Seattle, they defeated them by an average of close to 25 points per game. This game may not even be close. I do like Green Bay to win this one. Now, the next game, I'm going to take Carolina on the road to defeat the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco has one thing going for them. They have won 6 consecutive opening games to start the season. I don't think it's going to be 7. San Francisco was at the bottom or near the bottom of the league last year in many statistical categories. Now is also time of possession, number 32 in the NFL. Carolina demolished San Francisco last season 46-27. I think linebacker Luke Kuechly is going to play very well against the San Francisco offense. I think Cam Newton will be very good in this one as well. I do like Carolina to win this one on the road against the 49ers. Now, next game. I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints to win on the road against the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota, they will be without Adrian Peterson because he is with the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans was #1 in total offense last season. Now they have the acquisition of running back Adrian Peterson. And New Orleans also, they added defensive end Alex Okafor, but I don't really know if that's going to augment their defense that much. Their defense has really been pitiful the last several seasons or so, and I mean, in this particular game, I think it's going to be more about maybe an offensive slugfest with New Orleans prevailing. I think their offense is better than the Vikings, and quarterback Sam Bradford, of course, a very good quarterback for Minnesota, but of course no Drew Brees. Drew Brees, I mean, when he retires, he's going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks ever. He's one of I believe in like the top 5 all time in career touchdown passes. I expect New Orleans to put up a good amount of points, and I expect them to win this game. I like the Saints to win this one on the road. Now, last but not least, I'm going to take the Denver Broncos at home to defeat the LA Chargers. Now, Denver has dominated the series in recent time. They've won 5 of the last 6 against the Chargers. Also, the defense for Denver, they were #1 in passing yards allowed in 2016. The Chargers have been deplorable on the road. In recent time, they're 3-13 over the last 2 seasons on the road. With quarterback Philip Rivers, you always have a chance, but I think he's going to face a very strong, relentless pass rush from Denver in this game, and it's going to be at Denver. Denver added, Demaryius Thomas, I believe, and I think that's going to help augment their offense to some degree in this game and for the season. So I do like Denver to win this one at home. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment for the 2017 NFL predictions for Week 1. And stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my picks for Week 2 of the 2017 NFL season. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.